Assalamualaikum and good day to my examiner. Firstly, I will introduce myself. My name is Adlina binti Aziz. My matrix is 265190 and my supervisor is Dr. Muhammad NORHASNI bin Muhammad ASAAD. I am from School of Technology Management and Logistics from program Bachelor of Technology Management. So by today I will represent the study which is the title is about the adaptability transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic among UEM undergraduate students. The first is introduction of adaptability transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic among UEM undergraduate students. Online courses are definitely an option to further studies at such a time. Generally, all universities in the world are directly and indirectly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic infection. In many countries in the world, especially Malaysia, is among the countries that have implemented the movement control order, which is called as a MCO, to curb disconnection of the COVID-19 spread network. In less than a month, face-to-face learning has completely shifted to online learning to ensure the continuity of student education. This is because of the emergence of COVID-19 virus in December 2019 in Malaysia is also happening around the world, which is increasingly threatening the lives of people throughout the country. The shift to online learning course has to some extent disrupted the lives of students and faculty in many ways, such as anxiety factor of students to focus on a given coursework can be concluded as a problem experienced by the most students, maybe due to work delays in addition to lack of class focus to complete coursework or coursework given too much due to course format changes due to drastic online class shifts. And also, students are unable to construct meaning through assumption in learning if without the help student energy directly or indirectly to initiate and maintain meaningful multimodal communication and to develop conceptual understanding through active engagement with digital resources. Objective of the study is first to investigate the relationship between mental health towards transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic among UUM undergraduate students. Second is to examine the influence of mental health towards transition to online course among UUM undergraduate students. Third is to investigate the relationship between student engagement towards transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic among UM undergraduate students. And then the last list is to examine the influence of student engagement towards transition to online course among UM undergraduate students. Next is methodology in this study. Quantitative research method is applicable to this research because it applies statistical techniques and analytical method for approach to resolve the questions. Respondents were given a Google Forms for the survey of their perceptions. There are only 377 samples were chosen based on the selection sample table developed by Kersey and Morgan in year 1970. Using such a questionnaire, this is the easier and safest method to collect data from respondents, especially when in the current pandemic situation. In addition, simple random sampling was chosen to use in this study. There have two of independent variables for dependent variables. The item is approximately equal to be constructed by measure using 5-point Likert scale category from strongly disagree to strongly agree. and data analysis using statistical package for the social science, which is SPSS, is used in this study. Next is about the result and finding in this study. Table shows that the reliability analyzed for each variable. Table shows that the consistency reliability estimates the dimension of mental health is 0.859 alpha. Meanwhile, the reliability estimate the dimension of student engagement is about 0.623 alpha. Meanwhile, the reliability estimate the dimension of transition to online course is 0.667 alpha. The overall internal consistency reliability from dimension of mental health is the higher combined alpha value from that table. The higher value is 0.859, which is mental health variable. It means that the value good reliability. Following more than 0.8 is a good, meanwhile more than 0.7 is acceptable. Based on the result above, it can be examining the internal consistency combined alpha value between 0.6 to 0.8 indicates very good reliability among all variables. And then is a normality testing for this study. For mental health, it shows that the squeakiness is negative 0.349 and kurtosis value is negative 0.292. Besides, for variable of student engagement is 0.208. For value of squeakiness, meanwhile, for kurtosis is 0.169. And then for the dependent variable, which is transition to online course, is 0.147 for the squeakiness value. Meanwhile, for kurtosis values is negative 0.241. To ensure that the distribution of the data is normal, both kurtosis and squeakiness values must be between negative 1.96 and positive 1.96. So based on the table above, that it shows the value of squeakiness and kurtosis are in the range of positive negative 1.96. Table below shows that a correlation analysis between variables. For the significance between variables must be significant at 0.05 levels. From the result appear, there is no significant relation present between variables of mental health and dependent variables, which is transition to online course. That the value is correlation equal to 0.3. P-value is more than 0.05, which is P is equal to 0.568. Consequently, mental health is not linked with transition to online course among students, as so null hypothesis is failed to reject. And then the results indicates there is a significant relation between variable student engagement and transition to online course, which is correlation is equal to 0.272 and p-value is less than 0.05, which is 0.000. And then therefore student engagement is having a relationship with transition to online course among students, as so hypothesis is accepted. Table regression coefficients indicate the regression of the variables followed by testing the hypothesis. First is mental health. There is a significant influence of mental health towards transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic. It can be answered that mental health on transition to online course, beta is equal to negative 0.14, p-value is less than 0.05, which is 0.008. Based on the value, it can be hypothesized that mental health and transition to online course has significant influence. The result is accepted the hypothesis. And then is student engagement. There is a significant influence of student engagement towards transition to online course during COVID-19 pandemic among UEM undergraduate students. It can be answered that student engagement on transition to online course beta is equal to 0.32, p-value is less than 0.05, which is stated in the table is 0.00. Based on the value, it can be hypothesized that student engagement and transition to online course has significant influence. The result is accepted the hypothesis. So, conclusion in this study has examined whether mental health has a relationship with online course transition, knowing to the extent to which mental health has influence on transition to online course among students. Also determines whether student engagement has a relationship and influence on online course transition physically and mentally and their ability to complete a task. So, in conclusion, mental health should be taken care of as best as possible even if it does not have a significant impact in this study. Also, student engagement plays an important role in the transition of online course so that the objectives of each course are achieved, as well as avoiding any disciplinary problems such as absenteeism and student response in class. That's all from me. Thank you and have a good nice day. For any inquiries and questions, can contact me via email norhasni046@gmail.com and can contact me via my number from 014 741 6302.